New single is Wine Country. Let's do this first.
Oh, that's right. Cheers, honey.
Literally the worst wine ever.
Look, I'll be the judge of that.
Pretty bad.
It's not great.
It is Trader Joe's, like $5.
It's not great. But, you know, you can get some pretty cheap Trader Joe's that's good, though.
Yeah.
It's out there.
That's not
I've had it. That's not maybe one of them.
Not optimal. But how I want to start this off, let's get right down to it.
That's right.
Let's talk Taylor Swift.
Absolutely.
And Travis Kelce.
I mean, honestly, has anyone thought about anything else for the last couple days?
Nothing else. Don't you love people like me who are like, when I first heard the story on the radio, I was like, what band is he with?
Oh, see, and my intro to it is that we were having a football Sunday with our brother and sister-in-law. And I think it was actually my brother-in-law that was scrolling on social media and said, hey, Taylor Swift's at that game. And I was like, and so me and my sister-in-law like squealed and we're like, oh my gosh. And we went on our deep dives and then, you know.
Could you die? I think they look cute.
Although, I like it. I'm here for it.
I like it too, but I had to look his age up.
Oh my God, Dad. Well, no, that's one of the theories.
He looks a little older.
See, and I thought he was younger.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Because T Swift and I are the same age. And I was like, oh, he's my age? I thought he would be younger.
No, I thought he looked a little haggard. I mean, I'm sure it's
because he's a football player.
Works out so much. That's why we look so young.
That's right. Obviously, because we don't work out as much. That's why we stay looking young.
Here's what I want to talk about it.
Okay, I'm ready.
I saw it must have been a New York Post article about her little secret weapon. Did you see this?
No.
Like what she does that is a snag 'em trick with every boyfriend.
What?
Think about it.
I mean, besides be amazing.
We love it. It has to do with how we found out about them.
Okay. The mom.
This is her boyfriend hack.
I love that.
Every single person she's dated.
She has a love fest with the mom. Oh my gosh.
Brilliant.
I got to dig into this.
I mean, brilliant, honestly.
I had a friend too that had a theory that she was like, maybe because, you know, we were all like, oh, she's being very open about this relationship and she wasn't with the last one, whatever. And I had a friend, because I was talking about it on my social media. I had a friend that was like, well, maybe he's just comfortable with them being more public and some of these other guys were not. And he's like, I'm not scared. I was like, oh, I like that.
No, he ain't scared.
I like that.
I like them together because as a strong woman, I think you do. Strong women, contrary to popular opinion,
that's right,
need even more of an alpha.
That's right. And that was it. I saw this I didn't get to dig into it, but I saw this like fun thing that was like, they're this perfect balance of the masculine feminine energy because of like what they both represent. I don't know. I thought it was a cool theory.
I think so too.
I dug it.
And he would kick somebody's ass who came at him about her.
That's right.
That's what you want, a guy that fights for you.
Come on, girl.
I mean, whatever.
Or tackles them if that's what's necessary.
Whatever it takes. What is their couple name? I haven't read about that.
Oh, Trailer. Come on.
I'm the dumbest. I love that.
The 2 T's? Come on. It's great.
I love that. All right. I want to also go back to the mom thing because yes, you suck up to the mom, but more importantly, when you meet somebody's parents,
you know them in a different way. Absolutely.
It is such insight into who they are.
Absolutely.
And so I love that she's going, and with men and their moms, 1,000%.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I think that is such a truth. And it's also
a Nashville truth.
It's a Nashville truth, if you will.
That's what we get to. The bottom of it.
But it is. It really is. Especially, moms and their sons. That's just such a special relationship. And so you can just see, not only do you get to know them differently by talking to their mom, but by seeing them interact with their mom. That is like next level. And you're like, oh, okay, this guy is going to know how to treat a lady.
She even, who was the guy Matt she dated over the summer very briefly? Is it Matt Healy?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
She met his mom. And they weren't even that serious. I kind of like it because
maybe she's just like checking the pulse.
I love it.
Because she's like, if he's not nice to his mom or he doesn't have a good relationship with his mom, maybe she's like, ooh, that sounds sticky.
It's a rule them out.
I like that.
I do too. I love all of it.
Here for it.
Now you are married to an angel straight from heaven.
I
must have an amazing mother.
He does.
Tell us about Nick's mom.
Yeah, she is super strong, like very strong-willed, like strong personality.
So not like you.
You know, I am like
wallflower.
That's right. Nobody would ever know I was in the room. Mm-mm. No, but she's a stoic personality, but very like, and when I say strong, I just mean like she is very sure of herself, very confident. And it's really incredible to just see the boys that she's raised, because I think that so much of the way Nick treats me is because of his relationship with his mom. And what I mean specifically by that is that he is not at all threatened or uncomfortable by my level of independence, but he's still very caretaking of me at the same time. And I think that like a lot of that comes from his mom. She owns her own business. She runs her own life. Like she is not scared, but like she still loves her boys and loves for them to dote on her as well. And so I think like that definitely has had an influence on Nick.
And I've known you, we'll get into that later, but I got to hang out with the two of you together.
Yeah.
And I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw like, and the other thing is, he's got his own thing going on.
Absolutely.
He's a prolific songwriter.
Absolutely. And that's what is so cool, is that like we both have our autonomy as human beings, but like we are one. We treat it like we're one and we are one unit. But like that doesn't mean that when we walk into a party, we've got to like be beside each other the whole time.
Yeah,
actually,
I love that.
We kind of have more of a divide and conquer mentality.
No, I made him take a video of me.
That's right. And it was a good video. You should go check it out.
You know what? And that came up too, that he is so good at like, you need in our business, you need a spouse who gets, you gotta look good.
That's right.
Knows how to shoot a good,
Nick actually,
wingman video.
He actually teases me because like he's better at shooting content than I am, as far as like, he's going to get better photos of me than I'm going to get of him. And you would think that like, oh, as the girl that does all the social media, I would be the one. But like, he's like, no, you're not going to like that.
That's
Here,
what he did.
Stand over here. Let me fix this light. This is here. Nope. Put your head down. I can fix your hair. I'm
That's exactly what he did to me.
I always say this thing. I'm like, I'd marry you twice. Yeah. I'd marry you twice.
That's a good song.
You're so nice. I'd marry you twice.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, go on my socials. It's the video of me smoking the cigar.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Right. Hey, if you ask me. Shot it,
and she was back there going, yeah, you tell her. So when did you meet his mom? Was that, I will say, my daughter, and I'm kind of been schooled. I had to cut something out of my last video because she's like, don't talk about me. But I will talk about this because I think it's innocuous.
Yes.
She just has a new boyfriend, like the first one of her series. He's a great guy. Right. And they're coming in next week to go to Louisville, Kentucky.
Right. Cheers, Kentucky girls.
She was so, I don't remember that. Yeah. When I met my ex's mom, and he was the guy I was with before ever. He was my one.
So I remember
I wasn't nervous. She was so nervous. I'm like, just be you. It doesn't matter.
Well, okay. Mine was a little different because I met Nick's mom when we were really just friends/neighbors. We weren't dating. So I had a really good relationship with Nick's mom by the time we were dating. Like I'd been to her house. I'd gone over to help them decorate for Christmas, all in this like interim period of us just getting to know each other. And like when I say getting to know each other, on the front end of that, the first 5 months, it truly was like platonic friendship. But even when I met her, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this woman is beautiful. And I'm like, okay,
she is.
Of course, right? You look at Nick, but like they look so much alike, it's crazy. And I remember just like clocking like, oh, this person knows herself and is like a strong, confident woman, and already being like, okay, that's cool. I like that I wasn't dating Nick yet, or at least he didn't know we were dating. But
checklist. She pulled a Tay-Tay.
That's right.
You didn't even know it.
That's right. But I was like, now I know this. This is good to know.
Probably more women do that intuitively.
I like intuitively.
That was my Kentucky education.
I like that. Intuitionally.
Nuns at Sacred Heart would be so mad. A lot of people do it and they don't even know they're doing it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was a checklist for you to move forward.
That's right.
Just pass, check.
Oh, yeah. It was like it wasn't like one day I was like, oh, Nick. It was like all of a sudden I woke up one day and I was like, oh, you're my person. Like everything, like I'm already sharing life with you in the way that I want to share it with a partner. So why are we not doing that romantically?
Did you do that? Did you say that to him, or how did it go down? I think it kind of always has to be the man.
Yeah. No.
It was no.
Oh, no. I told him I loved him standing at Roberts and we weren't dating yet. I was like, hey, I'm in love with you, right? And he kind of laughed and was like, yeah, I know. I was like, okay, cool. And then we just kept on partying.
And there was no hanky-panky at that point?
Well, I mean, he was my across the hall neighbor. So, wow. You know, there were spendovers. That's what we like to call them.
I like that.
But like he had I mean, honestly, it was pretty PG because he had a in the room roommate.
Oh.
Like they were like, the way they had their room set up was like dorm style.
So over the covers.
Wow.
Just a little.
Getting to the, I need a drink of this really bad wine.
Cheers. Cheers to Nick. What an angel. That's how it is with Grace's guy, who I think is going to be a keeper. And I met him. Mm-hmm. I think that was it.
Yeah.
I knew him as her friend.
It's the best.
His parents did not.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that's been key.
Yeah. It's been fun because I'm just like, when people ask me any kind of relationship advice, I'm like, I know you can't always choose, but man, if you can date somebody that you're friends with first,
yeah,
you just skip all of that. Like, do I tell them this? Do I not share this? How much of myself should I be? Because I was like unabashedly myself with him because he was my friend.
Adorable.
Oh, thanks.
She's like, oh, thanks.
Tell me more. But no, truly, I was so like comfortable sharing my past, my history, the good and bad parts of me because he was just my friend. So we never had to jump over those hurdles of like, how much is too much to share or show of my like crazy side or my crazy parts of my family or any of that. And it's like, you know, it's like all of it. And it was good fit.
Along the lines of the Nashville truth, you know, what would I know Mitchell Tenpenny talked about, like, it does work for them because they're both in the business. I think people have different feelings about that. To me, it's always like, it just wasn't the right one.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with your profession. Either you're meeting your person or you're not meeting your person. Mm-hmm. But how do you feel about being in the business together? How does he help you? How do you support him? How does he support you?
Oh my gosh, I can't even, like, we don't have enough time or words for me to express like how I can't imagine being where I'm at in my career without Nick specifically, because he just speaks truth so much and he's so level-headed about stuff. And I can't imagine being with someone who doesn't get it, because when I'm having a day that you would think is a really good day and somehow I'm spiraling, anybody else on the outside would be like, oh my gosh, how are you complaining about this? But he gets how even the good days can be stressful.
Right.
Even the wins are like, you win, but you're waiting for the fall, or like whatever that is. And then at the same time, like, he's constantly gassing me up and telling me that I'm great, because we all play that comparison game. And it's nice to have somebody that's like, hey, what can I do to help you feel creative today? I know. He literally, that was a direct quote from like this week. And I'm like,
what's his dad
Did
like?
I order you? Did I mail order you?
What's his dad like?
Oh, his dad's incredible. No.
Are they married? His mom?
No, they're divorced.
Okay.
But like he has.
All right, Daddy.
That's right. He has two really, really incredible parents. His dad is so kind. And so, I mean, and his step parents, I mean, he comes from good blood, and it's just awesome to get to have them in my corner as well. I mean, they try to come to my shows and stuff. His dad and his stepmom are always like, when's the next one? So it's really sweet.
Now, where's he from?
He's from Nashville.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow,
he's a unicorn.
Where did he go to high school?
He went to a, they call them umbrella schools. So it's more like homeschool meets tutorials.
Nice.
So it's like 3 days a week. They went to like this tutorial thing, and then they did mainly homeschool.
Okay. And did you tell me how you met?
Yeah, we met because our actual story is we both lived in the apartments downtown called the Ramen Lofts, and we both moved in around the same time. And my next door neighbor, so I was in 102, Nick was in 109, and my next door neighbor in 104 had a housewarming party because we were all first time tenants in this place. And when I got to my friend's housewarming party, he's like, oh my gosh, there's this guy and he's so talented and he's so cool and he's coming tonight and he lives in our building. And so I was like, oh man, about this guy, this is cool. And then like, this story is so funny because Nick comes in, my friend's like, oh, you got to meet Nick. And he like introduces us and I'm like, oh, hey, I'm Hannah. Nice to meet you. And he's like, nice to meet you. And then he just like keeps walking. And I was like, and in my mind, I literally was like, this guy thinks he's hot stuff. And like, no, thank you. And really, in actuality, 24-year-old Nick at the time was like just getting into music, was like walking into this room of people that were all like, they either went to Belmont or had been doing music for years. And he was just kind of like trying to observe. He's trying to catch a vibe. Like, what's everybody? And so he was just trying to stay out of the way. And I kind of, it's so him.
So chill.
And I
assess the situation.
That's right. But the way that our friends were talking about him, I thought he was like this thing. And so when he walks in and he's quiet, I took his quietness for being like, oh, this guy thinks he's all that.
With the curly hair.
That's right. All your gorgeous hair.
Cuteness. Hi.
That's right. I know, it was really funny.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you've got neighboring states. You can visit your family in Kentucky.
It's great. That's right.
There are two things that we have in common, and we've known each other, I don't know, 20,
a lot of years.
And this is when I was thinking about Taylor and talking to you about Taylor. I couldn't wait to dish on that. I was like, wow, the similarity between her and Taylor is I met Taylor when she was 13 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And I think we've debated how old you were when I met you.
Child is the overall answer.
I was maybe 15.
Yeah, it was like, I think I was maybe a couple of years older than that.
Like 17?
Yeah. It was like, right. I mean,
she looks that now, so you can imagine she looked really so young.
Oh, yeah. Like I already had that like young face, especially when I was younger. It was like a little rounder too. We won't go into that. But literally, I met you at the Miami morning show.
Yeah, there are things that radio does this thing once a year called Morning Show Boot Camp. Mm-hmm. And actually, that was the boot camp that eventually led to me going to New York.
Oh my gosh. Actually, yes, wait, I feel like I remember that.
Because I was meeting with, my agent had set me up with John, not set me up, but set up a meeting with John Dickey, who used to own Cumulus. And at the time, John Dickey said, well, I don't have anything right now, but definitely I'll keep you in mind. We'd love to have you on the team. And then it cut to a year later. It was a year later, maybe two.
Yeah.
He's like, we're launching the first station in New York City in 17 years. And so you never know. Those meetings were serendipitous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were so many people that I met there at the event. That's right. That I still have relationships with in radio today.
Brilliant, because I had the only other artists that I've ever seen at those, and I didn't go to them, I think, past that one. But was Brothers Osborne.
I love that.
And they never forget me because
of that.
Not because of that, because no one interviewed them at that.
Oh, wow.
But me.
Oh my gosh.
And Angela, their record rep, was like, you got to do me a solid. No one will talk to these guys. Will you sit down and talk to them? I'm like, of course I'll sit down and talk to them. So
I love that.
Coming full circle, it was one of those where that was not in Miami. That was Chicago.
Yeah.
But you know, it isn't very often. That was brilliant. Whoever thought of to do that with you. Mm-hmm. I know you were with your dad.
It was my dad.
Your dadager.
He is like,
he's adorable too.
He's got that thing. Mm-hmm. He does. He owns his own business, and he's just got that business mind. Okay, what can we do that no one else is doing? And we knew Charlie Cook at the time.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and we loved. And Charlie was like, "Hey, I think this could be something interesting for Hannah to come to, just to meet some people, and they need somebody singing at a couple things, and I think it'd be cool for her." So I did that and made all kinds of friends.
For those who don't know, Charlie Cook is just a longtime legendary country programmer, and he works here in Nashville
in country radio
at the Cumulus station. He ended up being my boss when I worked here.
It's just so funny the way that the story unravels, because a step further back, how I met Charlie was. This is a kind of a crazy story. I'm actually glad I'm getting to share it.
There's no over the covers. How I met Charlie was.
Wow. And here we go. Everybody gets arrested.
That's right.
No, what's crazy is I had, like every young girl that wants to be a singer in Nashville does, whose dad is willing to, support that dream. I had come down to Nashville and like cut some songs, right? That's like a thing. And I came down and did that, and we started just emailing the song to any email we could find on the internet.
Brilliant.
Much. And I had this friend that lived in LA, and he was like, I'm going to send your song in to Go Country every day until they play it.
Which is the LA country station.
LA country station. And so, okay, I'm all tangled up here. And so he said, I'm going to send it in to Go Country every day till they play it. And they kept responding. Tanya Campos was there at the time. They kept responding and they were like, we can't take unsolicited music. Please stop sending this. Please stop sending this. And he's literally like, just listen to it.
Do it.
So she listened to it. And then she said, I actually like this. I'm going to play it for Charlie Cook. So then she plays it for Charlie. I'm getting my hair done in Lexington. And I get a phone call from a LA number. And it is Charlie Cook calling me. I'm not kidding.
How old were you?
17 or 18 at the time. Yeah. And so he's like, she said, it's Charlie. And he's like, hey, is this Hannah Ellis? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, this is Charlie Cook out with Go Country. And I just was wondering if it'd be cool if I set you up a meeting with my friend Joe Galante down in Nashville. And of course, I'm like screaming, crying. I'm like, Dad, I've made it.
Well, he has
12 years later.
You did make it.
We did.
Well, because a lot of the theme, as I've mentioned, is the Nashville truth. And people talk about relationships and that this is a 10-year town.
That's right.
You're just a little longer than 10 years.
Hey, it's only because we started younger, okay?
That's right. You're killing it now.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, when you think of how you were in this mission to sing, like as a mom, I kind of want to know too. Like when were you like, Daddy, I want a pony.
Okay.
And also I want to be on the radio. I want to sing. I want to be a singer.
So I'd always known I wanted to sing. This whole go down and record songs thing had come up one time when I was like 13. And then my dad was kind of like, yeah, I just don't. Both my parents were like, yeah, it just feels a little young to be making like a life decision of like what you want to do for the rest of your life. And I was like, right.
So we love Daddy.
That's right.
That's solid.
And so we instead waited, and I got pretty good at school, and I ended up getting a scholarship to the University of Kentucky. And I know.
No big deal.
I know.
She's like, I was valedictorian.
I wasn't valedictorian.
Where'd you go? Henry Clay?
No. I went to a small school in Campbellsville, Kentucky. I went to Taylor County.
Nice.
Yeah. And but it was probably March before I was going to graduate in May. And I literally took my little sister to the Hannah Montana movie. This is an actual true story. I took her to the Hannah Montana movie and I cried. I had like literally a come to Jesus.
I mean,
I bawled the whole movie.
That was a good movie.
We got to the climb and I was like, this is my life. And I like leave the theater and I go home and I'm like with my mom and I'm like, Mom, I'm supposed to sing for a living. I know it. I know that's what I'm supposed to do. And she's like, let's call your dad. And I was like, and so we called Dad and he's like, okay, this is not a sport that you're allowed to quit in a year and a half when you're over it. And I was like, no, I'm telling you, I feel this. I mean it. Seriously. So he's like, all right, if that's the case, I'll come over in the morning. We'll chat about it. So I was ready to forego everything. No college. Just let me move to Nashville. And they were like, you have free college. You don't understand how cool that is.
That's pretty cool.
But it's
even
really
though
cool.
It is UK.
Listen.
I mean,
a psychopath. But no, so they were like, we would love for you to go on to school and we'll support your music dream in any way that we can help you get down to Nashville. And so we did. So I went on to school and...
What was your major?
Integrated Strategic Communications. Which is a really long name for kind of a marketing meets PR degree.
Nice.
But
well, that's probably helpful.
Extremely helpful. I mean, that's why like my advisor at the time, he really helped me choose it because he's like, if being an artist is what you want to do, I mean, that's kind of a marketing job is really what you need.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I mean, I'll have to just brag on the University of Kentucky, which I always will, and say
I'm a hilltopper.
I know that.
I also went a year to U of L.
And my mom, I think mom went there.
That's why I love your daddy.
Yeah.
That's right. We have the hilltopper.
That's right.
Western Kentucky.
That's right.
All right, brag on UK. I'll probably edit this out.
These.
This will be on the cutting
floor. He's like,
floor.
hate it. But truly, my professors and even the dean of my college were so accommodating to me to come down to Nashville. Like the support I felt for what so many other people were like, would have called like, oh, that's so silly. This girl thinks she's going to be a famous country music singer. All of them were like, oh, you need to do your test early? Cool. You need to turn in your paper late so you can go down to Nashville and write songs? Cool. Like, I don't think I might have had like one or two teachers that were like, we don't care. Yeah. But I mean, at a school that size to be that like, hey, we really want to like see you win at life. Like, it's pretty cool, you know?
At life.
Like the whole thing.
I love that. Well, that should be the point. That's the point.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. That doesn't make me like Kentucky anymore.
She likes them now.
Because we are both from Kentucky.
That's right.
I'm from Louisville. Mm-hmm. You're from Lexington, which also my ex is
Campbellsville, technically. Lexington by heart.
Well,
and
okay,
school.
then I forgive you. Because my ex is from Lexington.
Oh.
He put the X in Lexington. But
she's a songwriter on the side, guys.
I do love, I've talked about this before, so we won't go deep into it, but I can't remember. Maybe it was Halfway to Hazard.
Oh,
I was in, they're great. But I was interviewing them and I said, well, I'm from Kentucky. And they said, where are you from, girl? And I said, Louisville. And what do you think they said?
You ain't from Kentucky. I wasn't going to be the one. I wasn't going to be the one to burst your bubble, okay?
That ain't Kentucky.
You're in the state, I guess.
All right, whatever. Let's talk a little bit more about Kentucky.
Yes, I love it.
Kind of coming full circle again with all your favorite Kentuckians.
Yes.
You are a vixen to go on tour.
A vixen, that's right.
With a fellow Kentuckian.
Yes.
Who I was just sitting here thinking you kind of favor her. If she could,
One of
you
my
could be
faves.
sisters. Carly Pierce.
That's right. Honestly, one of my favorite humans and artists. So going out on the road together just is like peak job.
Now,
right?
were you guys friends before this?
Yeah. So we met, around when I moved to Nashville. We got set up on a co-write. I think that was the first time we met. And then we just kind of like, I would say we more stayed in touch over the years, just like cheered each other on, you know? And then I would say probably, honestly, after the like 2020 years, math is bad.
Same.
But there was, let's
And
say.
you did go to UK, so
Yeah.
probably.
And I'm just bad at math. Let's say probably 5 years ago, we started writing together a little more for like her record. I went on the road with her and then I opened some shows for her. And like the friendship just really started growing. And then, you know, as her star began to just soar, she really took me under her wing, if you will, and just pours into me and just champions me every chance. I mean, in interviews that I'm not a part of, just who are you excited about? Hannah Ellis. I'm like,
Love that.
that's just like so rad. And like, she means it. And she's such a genuine person. And then it's like, yeah, we get to go out on the road together and drink wine. What's wrong with that?
The same area of Kentucky too.
No,
I thought she was up by Lexington, Eastern.
She's up. Yes. She's up a little further north, Taylor's Mill.
Oh,
She's going to laugh at me if it's wrong. I think it's Taylor's Mill.
Well,
I think so.
Also, similar paths in that she convinced her parents to let her leave high school and have her first job at Dollywood. And I mean, those kind of similarities, that drive, that purpose, that intention, I think you both have.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing is like, when we sit down to have dinner or drinks, it's like you have to pull us apart. I'm going to jokingly say we made the mistake the other day of planning our hang before we both had other things to do. And like we were late. We were both late because we were like just so deep in the weeds about like whatever it was. It's like we're catching up on personal and then it's like unpacking whatever is going on in each of our lives musically and our world musically, and it's so fun to have someone to bounce that stuff off of, and for me to have her out in front of me and I can go, okay, when you got to this point, what did you do? How did you handle it? You know, and just being able to pick her brain has been just awesome.
As someone who has been, grinding for a long time, what is your Nashville truth as far as like, I mean, I think you've touched on some of it already, but I like to think that the people watching this are, I think even if you're not in the industry, people who are watching this love this town.
Absolutely.
They love the music that comes from it.
Yeah.
I think listeners are so much more informed than they were in the good old days.
That's right.
Where they understand that this is a business and that they support their artists so much along the way.
Yeah.
So if you had to summarize what your Nashville truth is at this point in your life right now, what would it be?
I would say it's taken me a while to be totally comfortable in my own skin and with the artist that I am, that I really am. When I first moved here and then those early years following that, I feel like it was, okay, what's the trend? What should I be trying to do? Well, if you're trying to do something that you're hearing, you're already late. You're already 6 to 9 months behind whatever their spark was that got them there. You know, it's like, I mean, the pendulum is always going to swing in a different direction. So by the time you're chasing after, oh, everybody's doing really country things, or everybody's doing really pop things, or everybody, whatever it is, like, you're going to be late to the party. And I feel like I spent the early years of my time in Nashville just constantly showing up late to the party because I was trying to be whatever I thought that they needed or were looking for. Oh, this person just got signed, so I'm going to do that because that's kind of what they do. And then finally I just got to the point where it's like, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, everybody else might be doing this other thing right now, and that might be super, super hot. So you're not maybe getting the attention that you think what you do, like, you deserve, but it's only because they haven't caught up yet.
Yeah.
Instead of me chasing them down, I'm going to keep doing what I do on my path, and eventually it's going to converge with the masses, if you will.
Again, a huge metaphor.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems, you know, when people ask advice about anything for broadcasting, you know, people have asked me, and it seems so trite and so easy, but it really is.
Being yourself is hard.
Being yourself is hard.
And I think that is like something that people sleep on. The second that we hit record on this, I put on this like armor.
Yeah.
I put on this like artist. Hi, I know how to have a microphone in my hand, and I'm really good at it.
You really are working the microphone great. The way I had to lecture Daryl Worley last week, I was like, dude, you sing into these. It has to be right there.
That's right. But I had to unpack the other way and go, cool, that's all great. And it's great to be trained media and be able to like present.
You were trained?
No, I mean, like, through my life. If you met my parents, they're like, hey, we got to have you girls knowing how to talk to people.
Well, yes.
That's right. And so,
I don't know that that's training. That's just manners.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll call that Kentucky manners.
There you go. But no, I think like it's been a journey for me to go authentically myself and really live in that and be that and say, all right, we don't always have to go best foot forward. What are we presenting today? And what is it that I think people want from me? And just be like, look, I'm showing up like this today. This is who I am today. Yeah. Maybe tomorrow I'm having a rough day. Maybe I'm in my head tomorrow. Let me just be in my head. Yeah. That's okay.
And I think sometimes people are so hard on themselves. I have to remind myself this. I remind my kids this. It really is every day kind of hitting the reset button.
So true.
And some days you do your best, but your best some days is not your best the other days.
That's right. That's right. And it's just, I think, I said this to somebody the other day, and it was funny because as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, ooh, that's a truth I need to write on my mirror and remind myself of. But like, it's getting to know the parts of you that you think people won't like, or that maybe you don't like, and liking those and going, these are maybe qualities that still need work, but like, it's who I am. I am loud. I do talk a lot.
No, honey, don't beat yourself up. Let me do it. Let me do it.
But like loving those parts and going, yeah, okay, so be it. Yeah. You know,
we're real.
That's right.
We hang out with people like that.
That's right. And it's like working on the things that need to be worked on. But then the rest of it, it's like, dude, we're human beings. We're doing our best out here.
We're on the topic of Kentucky.
Oh, yes, always.
What's your favorite tourist attraction in Kentucky?
Keeneland. Boom. Done. Easy.
Done. Boom. Churchill Downs. I can see we are.
Yeah.
We're at odds.
We love. I
do love the Hardee's right by Keeneland. Right? After
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After
there you go.
a
That's
Keeneland
fair.
day, and you're like,
Keeneland is. I mean,
I need a Hardee's burger.
If you take anything away from this podcast, what I hope you take away is that Lexington is superior. But
I don't know that that's what they'll take away. Will they take that away?
No, I love Louisville. I do.
Louisville is the coolest town.
It is. And I will say this, younger me, because of my Kentucky-ness, my University of Kentucky-ness, was like, boo, Louisville. And and then you get older and you're like, okay, this place is actually really rad. Great food spots. I mean, obviously the bourbon it's a really, really cool city.
I think it's going to be the next place.
Yeah, it's popping off. The last couple of years, they've like really, really like
always had great restaurants.
Yeah,
always had great theater. Actually,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I went to a It's just you start to say things and then you're like, you're about to sound like a douchebag. It's fine. Just keep going. Keep moving, sister. I went to the Governor's School for the Arts program up there. Of course I did. But it's at Transylvania. And it is just, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of incredible, like, the arts in Louisville are really, really, really top notch.
Transylvania is a great Kentucky college.
It is.
I went to leadership camp.
Yeah, look at us.
At Center College.
Nerd alert.
Every summer. Hi, student council girl.
Yes, guys, this is why we ended up with microphones, okay? It was always going to happen. It was always going to happen. Love that for us.
Yes. She's out on the road with Corley Purse.
That's right.
She got the song Wine Country coming out.
Well, it's already
out. It's out. That's why I have this. All right,
that's why we're whining.
She won't even drink the bad wine.
She caught me.
That's what I will drink the bad wine in a bag. And you were out with somebody else? I feel like I read
Billy Currington, which was so much fun.
Thank God for good directions.
Amen. Honestly, amen.
I may or may not have changed the words to that a few times. You figure it out.
You guys can do the songwriter math there.
We'll do a call back to Over the Covers.
Yes.
But yeah, was that a blast?
Oh my gosh, so good. And you know, it's so funny because you don't know how much of a Billy Currington fan you are. You're like, I've always have been. I've loved so many of his hits. No, I know every song he sang during the set. I was like, yep, know it. And like, not just like, oh, I've heard that. Like, I know all the words.
That dude, people forget he had number one after number one after number one.
Couldn't miss.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
Did he try to sell you some coconut water?
He didn't. I was actually a little sad about it. I was kind of hoping.
I've always wanted to buy his coconut water.
Yeah, I need to get on that actually.
All right, so we got that. Congrats on that. The new music, I think, might be coming out
very soon.
She's going to be vague about it. It's going to be irritating. I can't say
very, very soon. Oh my gosh, everybody loves to hear that.
Anybody watching this?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my God, listen to her. Right. Listen to this sass. She is. She's like, tell me I'm great.
What? My favorite people watch that.
That's right.
My favorite people watch this. If you're watching, you're my favorite.
Absolutely.
All right. So when can we expect that new music?
Okay, we do have a couple new songs coming this fall, which Kelly recently reminded me a minute ago that it's already fall, which is insane.
What is today? I mean, it's
as of
Sunday's
like a couple days ago.
Sunday's the 1st, so
it's crazy.
It's over. The year's over.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll look forward to that.
And then also, first of the year ish.
There you go. You got a little.
There could be more music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're just trying to keep them dangling?
Yeah. Yeah. We got fun times.
That's your marketing degree from the UK.
That's right.
We're going to end it with Kelly's Quick Six.
Ready?
You ready? More than 6, though.
Because math.
Kentucky
math, baby.
I've known you so long, and I came up with more than 6. So
I like it.
Don't worry about it. First one, easy, boring, UK or U of L?
University of Kentucky, BBM for life, baby.
Who's the winningest coach? Is Rupp still the winningest coach?
In basketball?
Fake fan.
No, I think it's Coach K.
Oh, it is.
Isn't he the winningest? I don't know. I'll have to fact check that.
Fake fan. Montgomery Gentry, Kentuckians, or one of the other very famous Kentucky duos,
right?
The Judds.
That's really hard.
It's mean-spirited.
But I think I have to go with Montgomery Gentry. I used to sing at Eddie Montgomery's Steakhouse when I was in college.
Shut it.
Oh, yeah. So that's where I'm going.
You want a tomahawk? What was your go-to song?
I don't know. In 4 hours of music, probably just anything I could possibly think of.
Okay, white wine or red wine?
Red.
I hate red.
I love them both.
But not Chardonnay. I like the pink.
The fact that did you say that you knew that I didn't like Chardonnay?
No.
Oh.
I hate Chardonnay.
I hate Chardonnay. I thought you were saying that and I was getting really excited
that girl sucks.
I'm trying to like get people on board with the fact that I don't like Chardonnay.
Who likes Chardonnay?
A lot of people.
They do? So it's too buttery. It's buttery. I don't like it. It gives me heartburn. We can drink together.
Yeah, it's not for me.
No. I love me a Pinot Noir. Pinot Blanc.
I like it. That's right.
ACMs or CMAs?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to say I'm partial to ACMs. It was my first kind of like feeling fancy times.
You wouldn't turn down a CMA though.
Heck no.
No. Stadium show or intimate venue?
Okay. This is really hard.
I love that.
The songwriter in me loves the intimate moments, but I think I could make an intimate moment out of a stadium show, so I'm making it stadium show.
That's a cut to in the future when you're selling out Nissan Stadium.
Keep that one.
MetLife, that's you. Travis or Jason?
Jason Kelce. Come on. Have you seen the podcast? He is like the dad husband duo of the year. It's like no hate, but like I became a Travis Kelce fan because of the New Heights podcast, because of Jason Kelce. I just like freaking loved him and his little wife, and like,
oh my God, I have to watch it.
Oh, it's so cute. They're so cute. And then I was like, oh, okay, Travis, like I get it. Like he's
bonus brother.
He's the counterpart, right? You can't have two of either of those, right?
Is it his personality you love so much?
Oh yeah, he's a doll. Oh my gosh. And
I've only seen pictures.
It makes, I love that you asked that, because my husband literally laughs at me. He's like, you love Jason Kelce. I was like, I do. I really do.
I think I'm getting side boob. Sorry.
By sorry, she meant you're welcome.
Yeah, take that. All right. This is a really good one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Taylor Swift. Red album.
Okay.
Or Reputation.
I mean, I have to go Red. Red was my, like, I was in college.
Same.
It was formative. Mm-hmm. That record. Then you call me up again just to break me like a promise. So casually cruel in the name of being honest. Literally one of the greatest lines of all time. Fight me.
I love that.
Ugh.
I'm a Reputation girl. But people come at me about that.
I would probably be a little in that category.
Yeah, I feel like it's just
it's a polarizing record, but I think that's cool. It's cool that Taylor Swift has a polarizing record. That it's just like another facet, another layer.
So good. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Although I do love Folklore too. Oh, we know this one. I'm going to skip that now that I know the story. I was going to say, you say I love you first, or he does. Clearly, stage 5 clinger over here.
Yay, baby. She knows what she wants.
Kentucky Moonshine or Kentucky Bourbon?
Oh, Kentucky Bourbon.
1000%. What's your favorite?
Probably Maker's 46. I think that's still my number one. Maker's is only like 8 miles from my dad's house.
I love Bardstown.
So
Bardstown
it's so
is
beautiful.
One of my favorite Kentucky towns.
Oh, it's so cute.
And so I went to Catholic schools my whole life.
Yes.
And I only got to go to camp once. And it was with the Sisters of the Nazarene.
I love it.
In Bardstown, they have a whole convent and summer camp.
Cute.
And I still was me.
Yeah.
And finally,
You got it. You're doing great.
Beyonce or Taylor?
I gotta stick with my T Swift. Mm-hmm. She just impacted my young life personally, but my young life musically. Like, I feel like she had such an impact on me as a young songwriter, because when You Belong With Me came out, it like shook me to my core, because I was like, oh my gosh, this person just wrote about my life. And up to that point, all of the country music females who were incredible were, like almost twice my age. Mm-hmm. And so it was just so impactful for me as a young person to hear somebody speaking to me about my real life. And I think to this day, it's why I write so personal. Mm-hmm. It's why I die on the hill of authenticity, because that's what spoke to me. So I got to stay with my girl.
I love that. And I've said this before. I don't know if on the podcast I have, but the fact that she can appeal to a 15-year-old girl, still at the age she is, because I can't believe she's 33 now.
I know.
Or 34. Is she 34? She's 34. He's 33.
Yeah.
I just Googled this yesterday. The fact that she can speak to a 15-year-old girl or a 45-year-old woman, right, and reach a universal truth.
That's right.
Another artist right now who has that kind of mass universal appeal is Morgan Wallen.
Oh, yeah. Those songs, crazy.
Like, somehow they're just such... Now, again, they're broad brushing. They're on big universal topics, but appealing to such a vast, different, and a wide variety of ages. Right. So I love that.
Yeah, I think that's a very great comparison of people that are just able to somehow make it so personal and somehow make it so universal.
Do you want to take the wine with you? That was a test. I don't think she does. That's okay. I'll drink the shitty wine.